Hey everybody, Ron here. I thought that I'd record a video and talk about some recent purchases I made. As I mentioned in the previous video, I love superheroes. Actually, I was thinking about my genesis as a role player, and it actually started before Dungeons and Dragons. See, when I was a kid, probably about 7 or 8 years old, a bunch of us kids would get together in a neighborhood and pretend to be different Marvel superheroes. Iceman, Cyclops, Captain America. We had this friend named Travis who would basically be the master storyteller, coordinate the story, setting up the scenarios, and we just go around pretending to be those superheroes and playing. And then after he got older and got bored with that, I took over. So I've basically been a game master since I was about 9 or 10, but I just didn't have a codified set of rules to be a game master with until D&D. So superheroes, you could say, is my first storytelling love, even though I enjoy fantasy as a genre for my entertainment more. Well, I can't really say that. I shouldn't really have to pick, right? Fantasy, sci-fi, supers, it's all good. Anyway, there was this product I heard about, a hero system or champions campaign book called Strike Force by someone named Aaron Allston. I never heard of him before, and I wasn't interested in champions. Never have been interested in champions. It was a much too crunchy system, and I just never. It's not that I couldn't understand it. It's just that it's something I didn't want to understand. My first superhero game was Marvel Superheroes, and then later I went into Mutants and Masterminds, and that's where most of my superhero gaming happened, playing Mutants and Masterminds, the various editions. Anyway, Aaron Allston wrote this book in 1988 called Strike Force. Strike Force was the name of his main campaign that he had been running since 1981. It grew into this beautiful thing where it spawned multiple campaigns and, ran by multiple players. It sounded like a really amazing thing. In the original book was only 96 pages, but it was jam-packed with all this stuff that we consider common topics to talk about as a game master. Player agency, managing expectations, understanding different types of players. It was pretty good. Well, anyway, a couple of years ago, High Rock Press and Evil Beagle got permission to update Aaron Allston's Strike Force, and so they made that book, and I bought that book in PDF, and I actually have a physical copy coming. It is amazing. Like I said, I don't like champions, but I love superheroes. There's so much in there, and there's all these testimonials. Guys like Steve Kinson wrote material to expound upon the stuff that Aaron started, and just a bunch of other people. I'm just going to give a brief overview of the book. There's an introduction written by Michael Serbrook, who is the lead writer on the project. There's a bunch of Strike Force testimonials throughout the book. It's really cool. And then the book goes into detail about the Strike Force campaign itself. It's the methods of play, the campaign chronicles, themes, the basic timeline of what happened, and talk about major campaign events. And then it details the setting, although it covers a lot of it, but it doesn't cover all of it in great detail. And there's another product where you can get that information from I'll talk about in a moment. But he talks about the campaign, he talks about the aliens, talks about the multiverse, Strike Force, the Strike Force Super Team, the second most frequently played Super Team, the Shadow Warriors. The Strike Force and the Shadow Warriors and many other groups were all part of what was called Earth AU, which is Allston Universe. It was Aaron Allston's creation primarily, and people loved it so much that they just really ripped off it, and it sounds absolutely amazing. Lots of player engagement, and it's basically the type of game that I dream of having. It's pretty cool. There's more testimonials, and then there's a chapter on what's called the Strike Force method. Well, how did Aaron Allston actually do this? And breaks it down. Talk about setting expectations and communication and developing the campaign, watching the character stories change. Talks about simulating the comics and the conventions of the comics and how to keep things fresh. How Aaron did it and how we can do it. And this advice isn't good just for superhero gaming or champions more specifically, but it's really good for games in general. And not just for game masters. There's a lot of great stuff if you are just a player that you can get out of this. And then there's a chapter about using Strike Force in your campaign, and it goes through. It actually steps through an example Strike Force campaign and how Aaron set that up, and that's basically the book. I was listening to a podcast with some of the people, Michael Serbrook and Ross Watson and Steve Kinson and Sean Fannin, and they were talking, and somebody mentioned an archive. So I searched for Strike Force Archive, that they got access to all of Aaron Allston's notes. I mean, there's like almost a gig of data. It's absolutely amazing. So much stuff. I have been scrolling through it, reading campaign chronicles, reading about his house rules, not necessarily because I'm interested in the mechanics, but I'm just kind of interested in getting insight from Aaron and how he thought. He gives not only the chronicles, which are basically the game session summaries, but also background. There's just so much stuff. There's, character art. One of the PDFs, which is a master list of chronicles and related files, is over 3,000 pages long. And that's amazing. Hundreds of files, just amazing stuff. I think, it is a treasure trove of inspiration. I will never lack for ideas for superhero game plots ever again, just from this information. And I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to run a superhero game. I'm excited to play a superhero game, just be a player and make my own hero, of course. But this Strike Force and the Chronicles make me even more excited to run a superhero game, because it's something that I've wanted to do again for a while. Maybe with Prowlers and Paragon Ultimate Edition, which is a pretty cool game, by the way. So we'll see. So that's what I wanted to record and talk about. I hope you guys go check it out, and because I highly recommend it. And until next time, see you later.